My dear students, let me welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting session, because in this session you will learn what is your personality type. Maybe some of you has already gone through the assessment instrument. We have picked up, remember, we were talking about the different attributes on the basis of which you decide what personality type you are dealing with or what personality type you have. अच्छा वो फिर at least 6 different types of personality, remember कौन सी थी वो? उनमें से कुछ का टेस्ट भी आपने लिया होगा और मैं आपसे अभी शेयर भी करूंगा और फिर हम उसको डिस्कस करेंगे कि knowing this personality, how are you going to face in the home, in the organization, in the market, with the people who may have the similar type or a different type, so that your interaction, their interaction with you, your interaction with them become a meaningful and successful learning and joining hands together and achieving goals in a win-win situation. Personality type A and B, this is the test we will take today, you will take today. Risk propensity. A third type of personality, self-monitoring. चौथी कौन सी? याद आया कुछ? Locus of control, internal versus external. इसको हम change के perspective में जो चौथा area है self awareness का, हम इसको दोबारा देखेंगे, because it has a lot to do, a personality who is having an internal locus of control or an external locus of control, how they both will look towards change. Fifth personality, कौन सी? Authoritarian. और मेरा ख्याल है कि दिन में आप बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे देखते होंगे जो आपको अथॉरिटेरियन टाइप ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी नजर आते होंगे. Now we're not talking right or wrong. Remember, all what we are, that if you have to deal with a person who love power, who love authority, then how would you draw a circle where your authority ends and his authority or her authority starts? Or you will try to manage in such a way that nobody should trespass your domain of responsibility. और छठी कौन सी थी टाइप? मैकेवेलियन. और फिर मैकेवेलियन टेस्ट, मैक पावर का टेस्ट भी आपको लेना होगा, इसलिए कि हम ये कह रहे थे कि एंड्स विल जस्टिफाई द मीन्स. नहीं, ये तो अच्छा नहीं होता. ये कहना कि नो, manipulating and cheating and deceiving other is no good. No, it's not a question of good or bad. Question is, are there people like it who would like to deceive and cheat their customers, who would like to manipulate their colleagues, who would like to exploit their friends to achieve their gains, to achieve their ends? And that's what we're learning here. People are of that type. And if next time you come across that kind of personality, which is highly Machiavellian personality, 100%, 100%. Well, I'm not saying smart, I would definitely say very cunning. How would you do it? Or how would you save yourself from someone who might be ready to manipulate you, who might be ready to ride on your shoulders? अच्छा, आप कहेंगे एक तो ऑप्शन ही है कि ठीक है, I will provide my shoulders. Well, I'm sorry. Successful manager would not be the one who will provide his shoulders that anybody can ride on it. No. You got to understand where is your domain, where is your authority and responsibility, and what are your targets, because you like to get the return on the success reward, which you did it, you should get it. Time has gone when you will when the work will be done by you and the reward will be given to the boss. I'm sorry. You have to take a stand. You have to keep your shoulders to yourself. लेकिन पता तो हो ना कि हम किस किस्म की पर्सनैलिटी से डील कर रहे हैं. अच्छा, फिर अगर आप में से किसी की 100/100 मैकियावेलियन पर्सनैलिटी निकल आए, so my question would be, are you happy with it? And if you are happy, my dear students, then please read what was the fate of Machiavelli. What happened to him? Very cunning, very intelligent. Now, sometimes you have to use this intelligence, but does that mean that you have to use this intelligence and cunningness to cheat and deceive others? Or you have to work through the open communication? I leave it to you. I'm nobody to suggest you how would you do it. All what we are learning here is these are different personalities. So you ready then? Personality type A versus B. Let's go through and take the test. But let's understand. Again, if you are personality type A or B or A minus or B plus, it's not a question of right or wrong. It's a question of understanding what are the attributes of B personality, what kind of job you would like to assign, or what kind of project and what kind of task you would like to assign to him. A project, a task in which he or she will deliver the best. यही मतलब है ना? इसलिए कि when you will be interacting in a happy way, in a satisfied way, your performance will go up. And that is the reason we are learning this management skill. That is the reason that we are developing this self-awareness and knowing our personality, that we can perform at the best. And regardless, wherever you are working, in small cities or big cities, performance metrics, performance measure, performance indicators, KPIs, now they are shared all over. Look at the banks. बैंक अगर किसी तहसील लेवल पर है, इवन गांव में, मेरे गांव में जो बैंक हैं, they are given their protocols and standards and procedures by their headquarters, maybe in Karachi or Lahore. Look at the multinational banks, foreign banks. They bring their system from developed world. And don't you think that Pakistani managers, ladies and gentlemen, are working in them and working successfully, achieving higher level of targets and getting higher level of returns? Yes, they are. तो मैनेजमेंट स्किल को लर्न करते हुए हमें देखना सिर्फ ये है कि से विद इन बैंक्स, अगर टेलर पे काम करना है, किस किस्म की पर्सनैलिटी चाहिए? टेक्नोलॉजी के डिपार्टमेंट में काम करना है, कौन सी पर्सनैलिटी ज्यादा सूट करेगी? लोन डिपार्टमेंट, क्रेडिट डिपार्टमेंट, कौन सी पर्सनैलिटी सूट करेगी? बैंक मैनेजर, who have to deal with officers and the employees and the customers and the clients of various types, what kind of personality would suit? Or please remember that it is not a question that somebody would like to take this job away from you, but this gives you a skill set. Are you happy with this? If not, do you want to change it? If you want to change it for good, you will be successful and moving on higher in the ladder. Type A versus type B. Please look at the characteristic features of type A. Amuman, they feel impatient with the rate at which most events take place. Jaldi jaldi sab kaam ho jaye. They would like to think or do 2 or more things at the same time. Parallel processor. Always moving and walking and eating. Type A. They are obsessed with numbers. Logical. Cannot cope with leisure time. फारिग वक्त है ही नहीं. काम काम और बस काम होना चाहिए. But please, family and work balance. Work and life balance is also important. Anyhow, type B personality. Type A के मुकाबले में type B personality. Never suffer from a sense of time urgency. बैठे हैं, पेंटिंग ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, सारा सारा दिन गुजर जाता है, डिजाइन में मसरूफ है। देखिए ना, मैं आपको क्लू दे रहा हूं कि कौन सी पर्सनैलिटी कहां पर सूट करेगी, किस काम के लिए, किस टास्क के लिए, किस जॉब के लिए। दे फील नो नीड टू डिस्प्ले और डिस्कस either their achievements or accomplishments unless such exposure is demanded by the situation. They draw satisfaction from their work. They know it, they're satisfied. Okay, fine. इश्तिहार नहीं लगाना चाहते, ईमेल पर, फेसबुक पर सबसे शेयर नहीं करना चाहते। Again, it's not a question of right or wrong. This is how they are. If you're happy, fine, good. Play for fun and relaxation rather than to exhibit their superiority at any cost. See the difference between type A and B? Type A will tell you that you better believe I'm superior than you. Type B, well, you make the judgment. They can relax without feeling guilty. इसलिए कि उनकी सेटिस्फैक्शन काम से भी है, उनकी सेटिस्फैक्शन लाइफ से भी है। लाइफ के अंदर और भी गम है मोहब्बत के सिवा। मोहब्बत काम से, मोहब्बत काम से तो होनी ही चाहिए, लेकिन देखिए 24 आवर्स में से 9 to 6, 8 to 5, 8 आवर्स, 10 आवर्स। बैंक्स वालों के लिए मैं कहता हूं चलिए 10 आवर्स आपको शाम तक काम करना पड़ता है, बट देन बियॉन्ड दैट प्लीज ऑन वीकेंड थिंक अबाउट इट, योर फैमिली, योर पेरेंट्स, your children. How about some community work? कुछ तो वक्त दीजिए, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन, याद है वो वैल्यू टेस्ट हमने किया था, व्हाट डू यू वैल्यू? अगर उसमें कम्युनिटी वर्क आपकी एक वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट वैल्यू थी, तो आई एम श्योर यू आर रिलैक्सिंग योर सेल्फ, एंजॉइंग बाय डिलीवरिंग द कम्युनिटी वर्क। ऑलराइट, सो टाइप ए वर्सेस टाइप बी, which one you are? B, B plus, A minus? Let's take the test. So in other words, my dear students, it's a time for taking the test and for taking the assessment. Knowing, number one, and it's a very interesting assessments now. Number one, we would like to know between A and B, what are the different personality shades? And we will explain, we will learn which one is better for what kind of vocations, jobs. And then we will leave this open question for you. Are you happy with it? If not, what are the choices? Choice number one, you can tune a little bit your personality, tone down or tone up, or change the job, make a plan. इसलिए कि आपका सेटिस्फाइड होना, लाइफ का हैप्पी होना, दैट इज अ पर्सनल गोल। हाउ वुड यू अचीव इट? दिस वी आर लर्निंग, नोइंग द पर्सनैलिटी। एक सेकंड टाइप ऑफ टेस्ट, ये वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट आपके पास मौजूद है, अगर आप करके लाए हैं तो उसको देखिए क्या स्कोर है आपका, एंड लेट्स लर्न व्हाट दिस स्कोर इज टेलिंग यू। Mac type score, Machiavellian, how much Machiavellian personality is hidden in you? Is it 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%? एक तीसरा टेस्ट भी आज हम लेंगे, बल्कि आप लेंगे, political test, political skills test. And I'll explain in a minute what do we mean by this political skills. But please keep in mind, my model of performance in 21st century, working for the last 35, 40 years with students, with professors, with corporate sector, as a consultant. My model of performance, now you may take it or leave it, that's your choice, but it has worked with me. वो क्या मॉडल है, उस पर रिसर्च भी हो रही है। वो मॉडल ये है, 40% performance out of 100, 40% performance, 40% professionalism, 20% politics and political skills. Now think about it. You must be professional, 40 out of 100. You must be showing the performance by being a professional, 40%. Professional means what you have performed. Let your boss, your team, your organization know about it. That's your professional responsibility. This is your professional responsibility to move up in the career and learn what new technique, knowledge, technology is required. Professional. 20% is very important, that you must know how to deal with people, how to negotiate with people, political skill, networking skill, very important. You'll take the assessment, find out where you are, and this political skill test, I have taken this test from one of the world authority in people management, Professor Jeffrey Pfeffer, Stanford University. It's not my test. I've taken all these tests from different consultants and different professors. But the most important is I've put it together for you. So we learn, assessment का मकसद तो यही है ना, we learn where we are. अगर आप इसको करके ले आए हैं क्लास के अंदर, तो please notice and see where you stand and make a plan. Where do you want to go? Higher in the performance. Let me then take the personality test, type A versus type B, and see what does it require from you. Speaking of the self-awareness, I like to aware myself. I like to make you aware. Personality type A versus personality type B. Now, looking at this test, you will read these statements, and there are two statements on each side. In other words, इसको समझ लीजिए ताकि जो scale है आपका 1 to 5, you would know where you will tick or circle. It's about you. So you will read these statements, and then on a scale of 1 to 5, अच्छा इसमें ये जरूरी नहीं है कि 5 is always higher and higher is always good. No. Please be careful. दो extremes हैं. एक extreme को हमने number 1, अगर आप उस extreme के करीब हैं, you will circle number 1. एक दूसरी extreme है, उसी attribute के अंदर, अगर आप उस behavior के करीब हैं, उस characteristic के करीब हैं, वो आपकी personality का attribute है, तो आप 5 को, यानी राइट हैंड साइड पर अगर है तो 5 को, और इन बिटवीन है तो 2, 3, 4 आपका अपना चॉइस है. Is this clear to everyone now? Let me repeat. There are two extremes of behaviors. For example, पहला मैं पढ़ता हूं. I am easygoing and get out and get on well with people at work. एक extreme है. दूसरी extreme इसकी क्या है? I often find myself in conflict with people at work. So, if you are on the left hand side, you're always easygoing and get on well with the people at work, you circle 1. If you are always finding conflict with people on work, you circle 5. You know it. You have to be honest with yourself. This is about you. ये नहीं है कि यहां स्कोर हाई आ जाएगा तो आपको ग्रेड अच्छा मिल जाएगा. This is about you. This is knowing where I am. So I can develop this skill of dealing myself. अच्छा देखिए, this is also a skill that I should not cheat myself. And you will find people, they hide even their own attribute from themselves. Conscious level, subconscious level. Even at the subconscious level, you will find some people are very alert. They know what they stand for. They know what their values are. They do not want to trespass. They do not want to ride on the shoulders of others. Anyhow, coming back to A and B, statement number 1, two extremes. I read again, scale is between 1 to 5. On the left hand side, I'm easygoing and get on well with people at work. On the right hand side, I often find myself in conflict with people at work. इन बिटवीन इज 1 to 5। अगर अमूमन डेली आपका कन्फ्लिक्ट रहता है तो आप 5 को सर्कल करेंगे। अगर कभी कभी होता है तो मे बी 2 और 3 या 3 और 4, डिपेंड करता है। स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2, आई यूजुअली फील इन कंट्रोल एट वर्क। दूसरी साइड पर है, आई एम यूजुअली हाइपर एक्टिव एंड फील रश्ड एट वर्क। स्टेटमेंट नंबर 3, I am not confrontational at work and prefer cooperation to competition. दूसरी एक्सट्रीम क्या है? I like confrontation and I am very competitive. Statement number 4, I do things one at a time. Linear processor. इसके मुकाबले में स्टेटमेंट नंबर 4 दूसरा एक्सट्रीम क्या है? I regularly take on multiple tasks or projects. Statement number 5, I am a good listener and enjoy hearing other people's views and opinions. इसके मुकाबले में स्टेटमेंट नंबर 5 दूसरा एंड क्या है? I find it difficult to listen to other people without wanting to finish their sentence for them. Statement number 6, I'm usually calm and placid at work. इसके मुकाबले में दूसरा एक्सट्रीम क्या है? I can often get frustrated and angry at work. Number 7, I'm able to focus on a few work goals at a time. दूसरी एक्सट्रीम क्या है? I often seem to have too many things to do at once. Number 8, I find it easy to relax and unwind or simply do nothing. Now we're talking at the workplace or maybe at home. बाज लोगों को घर में भी ऑफिस का काम लाना पड़ता है और वहां मसरूफ रखना पड़ता है। उसकी दूसरी एक्सट्रीम है, आई फाइंड इट हार्ड टू रिलैक्स एंड अनवाइंड एंड डिसलाइक हैविंग नथिंग टू डू। नंबर 9, आई हैव अदर इंटरेस्ट आउटसाइड वर्क। नंबर 9 की दूसरी एक्सट्रीम है, आई एम मेनली इंटरेस्टेड ओनली इन माई वर्क। रिमेंबर वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ द ऑफिस वर्क। नंबर 10, आई ऑलवेज मेक श्योर that I can spend quality time with my family regardless of work commitments. इसकी दूसरी एक्सट्रीम है, I often find that I cannot spend time with my family because of my work commitments. Now, my dear students, these are 10 statements. Remember, these are two extremes in each statement. Scale is 1 to 5. आपने सर्कल किया होगा, किसी में 1, किसी में 2, किसी में 4, किसी में 5, right? Please add up the score. And if you have already added up, so now you have to then interpret. You interpret yourself. You have marked it. You have added it up. The total score is with you. Okay? 10 statements. Naturally, score जो है वो between 10 and 50 होगा ना। नोट कीजिएगा अब इस स्कोर की इंटरप्रिटेशन, और यहीं से फिर हम निकालेंगे टाइप ए वर्सेस टाइप बी। और फिर जो स्कोर आ रहा है उसमें आप देखिए कि इफ यू विल नॉट बी हैप्पी विद दिस पर्सनैलिटी टाइप, व्हाट शुड यू डू? विल टॉक अबाउट दैट इन अ मिनट। स्कोर ऑफ 10 to 20, अगर आप में से जो स्टूडेंट्स ये टेस्ट घर से करके लाए हैं या अभी जिन्होंने किया है, इफ यू आर स्कोर्ड 10 to 20 total score, you have many characteristics of the type B personality. 21 to 30, if this is your score, you have many characteristics of the type B plus personality. 31 to 40, you have several characteristics of the type A personality, type A. 41 to 50, you have many characteristics of the type A plus personality type. So now you can compare and see how the things will work. मैं statement number 10 को लेता हूं for example. Statement number 10 says, I always make sure that I can spend quality time with my family regardless of work commitments. आपने अगर 1 दिया है तो स्कोर लो होगा और टाइप बी की तरफ जाएगा। स्टेटमेंट नंबर 10 का दूसरा एक्सट्रीम था, आई ऑफन फाइंड दैट आई कैन नॉट स्पेंड टाइम विद माई फैमिली बिकॉज ऑफ माई वर्क कमिटमेंट्स, तो आपने 5 नहीं होंगे। तो ओवरऑल ये मिक्स जो है वो आपको बता रहा है टाइप ए प्लस, बी प्लस। Now, we're not saying which one is right and which one is wrong. It will be different and unique characteristics of each one of you. All what we are learning here is, for example, say if you are in the educational institution, lecturer, professor, teacher, principal, खास तौर पर लेक्चरर, फैकल्टी मेंबर, आप मुझे बताइए कौन सी पर्सनालिटी टाइप बेहतर होगी? What is the answer? If your answer is B plus or A, you have the right personality. इसलिए B plus का मतलब है you have to listen to the others, students' viewpoint. A means you have to make them listen to you. तो characteristics vary करेंगे B plus और A. How about if you like to work in the design department? You like to go and join advertising company. You better have B type of personality. If your personality is type A plus, it will not fit. You're always on the move. Advertising and design related work needs slow down, sit down, think about it, maybe sleep on it, maybe daydream. Ideas will flow. Imagination. Walking and talking and eating and doing work, A plus, A. Yes, he's good for sales. You will put him in the new product launch. How about customer relationing? किस किस्म की पर्सनैलिटी चाहिए? ऐसी तो हो ना कि जो अपनी भी सुनाए और दूसरों की भी सुने, बल्कि बेहतर वो होगा जो सर्विस माइंडसेट. Again, B plus and A. How about accounting? Accounting profession. You're dealing with numbers. आपको बैलेंस करने हैं numbers. खासतौर में जो बैंक में काम कर रहे हैं और शाम को numbers को मैच करना है. You got to slow down. B or B plus. So, we are trying to relate personality type with the vocation, with the job. Now, if for example you have a personality, इसलिए कि अगला मेरा क्वेश्चन यही है, are you satisfied with this type? Are you satisfied, my dear student, with this type? B or B plus or A plus? Why or why not? Make a plan. मैंने इसीलिए कहा है sense. Now you have to make sense. 5 senses, you have used it. Now use the 5 and the 6th. Respond. Make a plan. If you're happy, good luck. If you have A and A plus and you are in the sales team, if you're A and A plus, you are in the stock exchange. If you are A and A plus, you are dealing where you have to speak out and represent the company. Good. You will perform better. You will look a good professional. Results will be good. You will be happy. So you can see that what kind of job you are in. It is not a question of big city or small city or urban city or suburban city or rural city. No. It is a question of knowing while in MBA what kind of personality I have, what kind of job I like to get, where do I want to go, which company I like to join, which department I like to go. Does this personality match with it? Does it require analytical type? Does it require investigative type? Does it require thinking type? Does it require feeling type? Thinking type भी अच्छा, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि A प्लस या A वाले थिंक नहीं करते, नहीं. एक पेस का फर्क है, एक इंटरेक्शन का फर्क है, एक फ्रीक्वेंसी का फर्क है, एक पेस का फर्क है. So my dear students, you have to respond knowing where you are, Make a plan. If it's good for you, please continue. लेकिन अभी भी अगर फर्ज कीजिए आप सेल्स टीम के अंदर हैं and you are bringing quarterly and annual targets good and you are earning a lot of bonus, would you like to continue all your life in sales? It will become difficult. Would you like to go to maybe marketing? Maybe brand related issues? Maybe customer. These are all marketing function. So you have to make a decision that where do you want to go in the next 3 years or 5 years. And if in the next 3 or 5 years a personality switch is required, please be aware. What are the areas where you can tone and tune down or where you can tone and tune up? Keep your remote control with yourself. My belief is it can be changed. The kind of vocation, the kind of... अच्छा कुछ लोग कहेंगे नहीं जी ये तो एक बिल्कुल permanent trait है. Well, I do not want to disagree with you. Research tells us that your personality have some temporary characteristics and some are permanent characteristics. जैसे मैंने कहा था, heredity, DNA, chromosome, genetics, yes, permanent. But that's only 1/3. Remember? Remaining 2/3, 66% comes from the kind of environment and the kind of situation we are in, and that is adjustable. All right, knowing type of personality, let's move to another interesting assessment. This assessment is Machiavellian power. How would you like to manage power and conflict? Or how would you like to create conflict to achieve your objectives? Divide and rule. किसने कहा? Machiavellian ने. हम ये नहीं कह रहे हैं गलत है ये सही है. हम तो ये लर्न करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि if that is a personality attribute, number one, are you of that type? Am I of that type? नाराज ना होइएगा. Let us learn. Then is the question, are we happy with it? Manipulating others. जैसे मैंने कहा था ना, one of his statement is, people want to be cheated. You cheat them and achieve your objective. People want to be ruled. By hook and crook, rule them. Achieve your objective. लोग, देखिए, एटीट्यूड है ना, थिंकिंग है, लोग गुलाम रहना पसंद करते हैं. मैकियावेलियन थिंकिंग. Employees exploit them, manipulate them. Customers manipulate them, exploit them. You will find people like it. You will find companies like it. But history tells us, history, and please read what happened to Machiavelli as well. That's a lesson of the history. So if someone is highly Machiavelli, again, we're not saying right or wrong, highly Machiavelli, most likely the end of that highly Machiavelli personality would be like what happened to Machiavelli. It's time to take the test. It's time to assess, where do I stand myself? And again, these are certain statements. You will answer. In this case, scale is 1 to 5, but this scale is different. Number 1 है, I strongly disagree. Number 2 है, I disagree. Please get it right. अगर आप 1 को सर्कल, जो स्टेटमेंट है, अगर आप उससे स्ट्रांगली डिसएग्री कर रहे हैं तो आप 1 को टिक के सर्कल करेंगे. अगर डिसएग्री कर रहे हैं तो नंबर 2 को करेंगे. नीदर एग्री नॉर डिसएग्री, तो यू विल सर्कल और टिक नंबर 3. अगर आप इस स्टेटमेंट से एग्री करते हैं तो यू विल सर्कल और टिक नंबर 4. और अगर आप इस स्टेटमेंट से स्ट्रांगली एग्री करते हैं, जो लिखी हुई है या जो मैं पढ़ रहा हूं आपके सामने, जो टेस्ट आप ले रहे हैं, तो आप 5 को टिक करेंगे. यू सी, दीज स्केल्स आर डिफरेंट. ये नहीं कि हर दफा हायर नंबर ही आपको हायर स्केल पे ले जाएगा और वो ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल होगा। नो। अच्छा, यहां NA भी लिखा हुआ है। इन अदर वर्ड्स, दिस स्टेटमेंट डज नॉट अप्लाई टू यू, नॉट एप्लीकेबल। अच्छा, हो सकता है कि देयर आर सम स्टूडेंट्स टेकिंग दिस कोर्स हु आर नॉट वर्किंग, they have no office experience. Well, that's fine. But you must be interacting with people at home, your brothers, your sisters, father, mother, relatives. Machiavellian तो एक attribute है कि manipulate your brother and, get all the goodies for yourself. Machiavellian. हम ये देखना ये चाह रहे हैं, where do I stand? अच्छा, इससे once again नाराज ना होइएगा, it's attribute. You have to be honest with yourself. This will stay with you. It is not going to be graded. All we want to let you know is, do you know yourself? How much do you know yourself? Because knowing yourself will give you strength. Knowing yourself will give you a tool and a lever that you will know others better. Statement number 1, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen, my dear managers, statement number 1, we like to learn how Machiavellian style would use power and create conflict and manipulate and deceive and cheat others. Statement number 1, my main goal is to get at the top of my profession or organization. My main goal is to get to the top of my profession or organization, regardless of whom I have to step over to get there. Very interesting statement hai. Let me read again. My main goal is to get to the top of my profession and organization, regardless of whom I have to step over to get there. If you strongly disagree, please circle 1. If you disagree, number 2. If you strongly agree that this is where you do it, you will circle 5. लेकिन फर्ज कीजिए अगर आप जॉब कर ही नहीं रहे अभी, तो फिर ये नॉट एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा। लेकिन ये कि अगर आप इसको घर में अप्लाई करें तो फिर क्या होगा? Regardless of whom I have to step, brother or sister or relative, I will make sure I will get the credit. I am in the front. आप उसको थोड़ा सा अप्लाई कर लीजिए उस वर्क सिचुएशन में जिसमें आप इस वक्त काम कर रहे हैं। मकसद तो ये कि आपने अपने आप को असेस करना है, हाउ मच मैकियावेली यू आर। नंबर 2, honesty is not always the best policy when dealing with colleagues at work. Number 3, fear is the best motivator to use with employees. Number 4, I only communicate information to colleagues which benefit me personally. Number 5, I will use information given in confidence if this will benefit me. Number 6, I try to hire people who will help me to get ahead in my career in the organization. Number 7, I prefer to hire people who are willing to accept my decision and my authority. Number 8, I never help anyone at work unless there are tangible personal benefits for me. Number 9, power is more important to me than respect or rewards. Number 10, it's okay to use someone else's ideas if I benefit from them. Number 11, I like to tell as many people as I can about success I have at work. Number 12, I will praise my colleagues in public. If they are successful, even though I may privately resent doing this. Number 13, I will prefer to use my positional authority to to get what I want at work. I prefer, number 13, I prefer to use my positional authority to get what I want at work. Number 14, my dear students, number 14, when I have had serious conflict with colleagues or co-workers, I will do everything I can to undermine them. Number 15, I prefer to tell my boss or bosses, I prefer to tell my bosses what they like to hear, what they want to hear. Number 16, I expect my subordinates, या आप इसको टीममेट या ग्रुप वर्कर भी कह सकते हैं, I expect my subordinates to do what I tell them without questioning my decisions. Number 17, the decisions I make at work are primarily influenced by their political consequences. I repeat, the decisions I make at work are primarily influenced by their political consequences. Number 18, I like to get even with people who have crossed me at work. जैसे यूनिवर्सिटीज में, कॉलेजेस में होता है ना कि प्रोफेसर, अच्छा मैं तुम्हें लैब में देखूंगा, खासतौर पर मेडिकल कॉलेजेस के अंदर. इफ यू फेल इन लैब, you fail in theory. I like to get, number 18, I like to get even with people who have crossed me at work. Number 19, I use flattery to get what I want. खूब मक्खन लगाता हूं मैं कराची की जुबान में. I use flattery to get what I want. Number 20, teamwork is okay. Teamwork is okay, but the buck stops at me. फैसला तो मैं नहीं करना है ना, किसको रिवॉर्ड देना है, किसको नहीं देना है. टीम वर्क इज ओके. ये टीम वर्क का तो मतलब देखिए ये है कि एवरीबडी विल गेट द रिवॉर्ड. नो, एवरीबडी विल डू द वर्क, बट आई विल गेट द रिवॉर्ड. बक्स स्टॉप एट मी, बट द बक स्टॉप एट मी. नंबर 21 और आखिरी स्टेटमेंट है नंबर 21. इन द फाइनल एनालिसिस, management is about exercising power, exercising authority, and control over other employees. Let me repeat, number 21. In the final analysis, I feel, yani you feel, that management is about exercising power, exercising authority, and control over other employees. अच्छा देखिए इसमें 21 statements हैं. My dear students, 21 statements हैं. My dear students, 21 statements हैं. Depending upon the type of organization you are working. Say, for example, you're working for a uniform organization, armed forces. Well, the nature of the organization is different. The process and the structure of the work is different. If you're working in a service organization, manufacturing organization, nature of the work, nature of the task would be different. So you can tune it up by focusing on the kind of organization you are in. But in general, this test tells us, how do I prefer about these statements related to work and what is my behavior? And now notice the result. इनका टोटल कर लीजिए, ऐड कर लीजिए सबको, तो आपको एक टोटल स्कोर मिल जाएगा. मिनिमम शुड बी 21 और मैक्सिमम कितना होगा बताइए जरा. स्केल 1 to 5 है ना, तो 105 से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. मिनिमम इज 21, मैक्सिमम इज 105. राइट? टोटल कर लिया आपने. या अगर आप इसको घर से करके लाएं, वर्ड का डॉक्यूमेंट आपके पास मौजूद है और ये आप ही के पास रहेगा. यू हैव टू बिकम, ये जो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस का कंपोनेंट है, Basically, this is knowing about me and you. And knowing it in such a way that this will help us feel stronger and taking energetic and dynamic step when we are interacting with others. If you are strong inside, people will take you as a strong manager, strong professional. If you believe in ethics, if you have ethical values, professional values, people will take you the way you are. And you leave a legacy, the kind of legacy Machiavelli has left. और ये जो किताब मैंने आपको बताई, The Prince, it is the most read book by politicians, by army officers, by armed personnel, by those people who like to believe in the economic gains and the highest profitable gains by hook or by crook. It depends. You'll find companies like that. Cheat the medicine, cheat the product, cheat the service, achieve the profit. Machiavelli. Written, something different. Supplied, something different. Machiavellian behavior. Paid for something different, delivered something different. Machiavellian personality. अच्छा 21 से 42 अब स्कोर कर लीजिए, आपने टोटल कर लिया होगा. 21 से 42, what does this mean? Rarely you use Machiavellian political strategies. Machiavellian political strategies. और हमने कहा था कि political skill जरूरी है. हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि नहीं जरूरी है, जरूरी है. Political skill का टेस्ट भी आपने लेना है. It's a power to negotiate. It's a power to handle conflict. It's not a power to create conflict. It's a power to handle conflict. So 21 to 42, my dear students, rarely you use Machiavellian political strategies to influence others or for personal gain, although use may be made of these on rare occasions. On rare occasions. On rare occasions, you use it. अच्छा, ये rare occasions, what does this mean? Well, मैं आपको अपनी example देता हूं. I'm busy in the office. I get a phone call from my daughter or from my wife. आप कितने बजे आ रहे हैं? अब मुझे अभी मालूम है कि अभी 2 घंटे और लगेंगे मुझे ऑफिस में, शाम का वक्त हो गया है. मैं कहता हूं बस अभी मैं आ रहा हूं, 15 मिनट में, आधे घंटे में आ रहा हूं. Rare occasions. Really, I'm not cheating them. But you can call. I'm not giving the right statement. I know they'll go after 2 hours, but I tell them, my wife or my daughter or my son, okay, I'll be there in half an hour. Now remember, if you have to go and attend a meeting and the meeting is at 11 o'clock, you can't be late. You have to be there. But see, on rare occasions, 43 to 63, in most circumstances, you prefer not to use Machiavellian political strategies to influence others or for personal gain, although use may be made of these if the situation demands it. See now, the situation comes in. Remember when we were talking about the personality, genetic factor, environment, situation. Notice now the score 64 to 84. You have a love of power. अभी हमने power को explain नहीं किया. But most likely when you're talking about Machiavellian political strategies, and probably you may have heard it, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts you absolutely. As we learned from political science. So 64 to 84, a love of power and its trappings. how you trap people with power, how you make people slave so they listen to you. You are the king, you are the prince. That is the book written by him, the prince. He tells you, he teaches you. He teaches those who like to become him, who like to become like himself, who like to become Machiavelli, how you can be prince. Everybody loves you, nobody would hate you. How you deceive them, how you cheat them. A love of power and its trappings, but how this is used is something moderated, probably regarded by colleagues as political, self-interested, and untrustworthy. Notice now, 64 to 84, if you like to be called self-interested, untrustworthy, political. मैंने कहा था 20% political is okay, because we have to have political skill. But this is almost 60-70% political. People will call you political. Unless you are a political leader and you have a belief that whatever promise you will make in the political campaign, after 5 years people will forget and you will come back again as a political leader. It may be common, but again, there may be political leader who make a statement and then they take a stand with that statement. लेकिन in general जो बात हो रही है वो यही है, पिछले 30 साल तो हमें भी हो गए ये सुनते हुए different political leaders say how the Pakistan will progress. Now I have a strong belief Pakistan will progress, but we're talking about political strategy. Do they believe in what they're saying? Machiavelli says you don't have to believe in what you're saying. Fool them, cheat them, deceive them, manipulate them, exploit them. They want to be exploited. वोट तो उन्होंने देना ही देना है आपको, कहां जाएंगे वो, और भूल भी जाएंगे कि इन्होंने क्या किया था. 64 to 84, 85 to 105. अच्छा हम देखिए यहां ये डेवलपिंग मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स, पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स भी शायद ये कोर्स ले रहे हो, बट बेसिकली वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दोज मैनेजर्स हु हैव सर्टेन वैल्यूज. अगर वैल्यू यही है कि नो प्रॉब्लम, I have to achieve my personal goals regardless what means I will use. Well, good for you. Then score should be higher. और आखिरी स्कोर हमें ये बता रहा है 85 to 105. This gentleman, this lady manager is obsessed with the acquisition and use of Mac power. He or she will consider any behavior or any action to pursue the personal gains. If I have to kill them, I'll do it. If I have to heal them, I'll do that. If I have to love them, I'll do that. If I have to hate them, I'll do that. Regardless what is required, I'll do it. Regardless of moral or ethical considerations, or the effects these might have on your colleagues, subordinates, brothers and sisters. My dear students, ladies and gentlemen, this Mac power test I know is a bit touchy, is a bit sensitive. I know, but I have to be honest myself. If I'm happy with it, 85 to 105, and I'm happy, good for you. But this is how the test is telling us. You will achieve, or if you will find a person like him, he will achieve his personal goal, her personal goals, regardless of moral or ethical dimension. Please be careful. Please, if you're working in that company and the CEO is like that, making profit by hook or by crook, well, one day, the kind of medicine you provided and you cheated and you made money, remember, you might be behind the bars. That's what happened to Machiavelli. One day, after so many years, in Italy, one king came. He knew what the hell he was doing. Divide and rule, manipulate. He put him behind the bar. अच्छा, और intelligent आदमी के लिए, intelligent manager के लिए, to put him in isolation, no good. Well, he died there. He kept on thinking, he could not come out. My dear students, choice is in your hand, choice is in everybody's hand. Behavior, action, personality. What you sow, so shall you reap. Isn't that true? Think about it. Political skill test, we'll talk in the next session. Very important. Remember my model, 20% political skill, 40% performance, 40% professionalism. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you in the next session. Khuda Hafiz.